Yeah.
Don't you think so? It's like we're internet content, we're social media, we're the video, we're everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's real.
Oh, we have someone's joining us. Yay!
Do we? Okay, hold on. All right, where am I? Okay.
Something pop up. Somebody popped up.
Somebody pop up. Hold on. Where am I? Okay, I've lost the screen. Oh God. This is,
I can see you.
You can?
Oh yeah, some people from Diana. Oh,
Okay.
Diane. Hi, Diane.
All right, hold on. Let me find out where you are because I can't find it. Okay, that's not it. Okay, hold on.
Christy Lee. Hi, Christy
Lee. Hi, I see.
Okay.
That's people popping in.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let me get back to the screen because I cannot find it. Hold on. Let's see.
Thank God I didn't do anything and it's working for me.
I'm glad. You know what? It's funny because someone took me to Tara Stidham took me through a tutorial last night to make sure I would get everything right. And of course, now it's like, okay, you all can see me, but
yes.
I can't. Okay, but I cannot see you. So let me figure out what it is I am doing. Okay. All right. Is that it? No.
I can.
Okay. I need to go there. No. Video on. Okay. This it? Oh, do I want to leave? No. Okay. Then where's the other meeting? Oh, you guys. Okay. No.
Oh.
Hi,
there we go. There we go. All right. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, ladies. This is my first attempt at doing this. It's called the Joy Hour, and it's just conversations with people in Houston who are in fashion, who are experts, whom I've written about, whom I've admired. And I just want to, this is a way of just kind of honoring you, but also having real conversation about what's happening in the world, what's happening here in Houston. So welcome Jackie Adams,
Yes.
owner of Melodrama Boutique, that's now in its 17th year.
Yes.
17th year on Alameda.
Yes.
And
but this
Chloe
is our year 18. We'll be 18.
Oh, year 18.
Year 18
okay.
in December. Yeah. So this is
18. And then Chloe is owner of Chloe Dao Boutique in Rice Village, and you're in your 20th year.
20th year, yes.
20th year, and you're Project Runway winner, season 2.
Season 2. Thank you for knowing.
And so you all are the OGs. You're the OGs, right?
Every time we see each other, we're like, we're the OG of retail in this city.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so with everything that's happening in the world, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Jackie?
Well, I'm feeling a lot better now. I had to, it's been an adjustment period because it's, Chloe was just saying, we're working tirelessly and never ending trying to keep up with social media, the website, inventory, content, and just yourself, just trying to keep yourself, mind, body, and spirit accountable for all things that's happening. So I will say today is a good day.
And why was today a good day?
Yeah.
Today
good question, Chloe.
Today was a good day because I kind of sat down since I did the sidewalk sale and cleared the store. I was able to do some really great hand picking of some new items to come for the summer, just based on a survey I did with my clients and just kind of figure out what they're doing right now. Are they back at work? Are they at home? And just finding out information. So I'm excited about the things that I have coming. So that's what made it good, because I really felt good about the things I picked to come next week.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. And you posted a photo of, it looked like all the inventory was gone. Like you did a really good sale.
Yes, the sidewalk sale cleared out all the things that were sitting here for 90 days. Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Well, that's good.
I did not know about the sidewalk sale. I would have gone shopping.
She's been doing it Memorial Day. I still have a couple of pieces from your sidewalk sale from years ago.
Years ago. Yeah. It's my number one. Every year I do it and we do well. But this year, since the store was closed, we did extremely well because I didn't have many vendors outside too. And I just took the whole store and put it outside. No dress rooms, and people just bought and left. It was great.
Wow.
Wow.
So is this your
Wow.
first day opening back?
I won't open back up until July. I just come up here and I do curbside. So clients come if they bought stuff online and we do in-store pickup. So I'm here on Thursdays and Fridays from 2 to 6. And I do paperwork, orders, check the mail. So I try to be here consistently for that.
Wow, so you're not even officially open back yet?
No, I won't do that till July. And
Wow.
I'll be restocked by July is my goal to reopen to the public.
Wow, but today
Chloe,
you're open for your sidewalk.
Yeah, I'm open for the sidewalk sale, and everything from the sidewalk sale that's left is on the website too.
Yeah,
so,
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So Chloe, hey, Chloe,
Yeah,
are you open? I know.
I am
Chloe's
open.
the journalist today.
Well, it's a conversation, so I like to ask a lot of questions. I'm gonna learn. I've been open now for 2 weeks, and when they announced that we could open maybe 4 weeks ago, I decided not to open. When they said we could open, I waited 2 more weeks because we were selling and donating so many masks. It didn't make sense to open and not know if we were going to interrupt our flow, because we became mask makers and we became shippers and we became IT people and Excel and administrative, because we were donating. And to donate that many masks to that many people is a lot of paperwork and paperwork trail, and to get it made.
Sure.
And it wasn't worthwhile for us to open. And so we opened 2 weeks ago. I was really nervous because then I had to think, okay, what's my staff comfortable with? Are we going to make people wear masks? We had to go find hand sanitizer. We had to find aerosol spray. It was all this thing that I had to think about and make sure that my staff and is clients even going to come? So we had to think through all that. And so far, it's been pretty good. It's actually, we have shortened hours, and we just changed our hours again. We decided to close Monday. Instead of opening 7 days a week, 12 to 5 only. But it's been more people coming than we thought. So it's been
Good.
But I'm asking, when we shut down with the pandemic, were you all worried? Were you concerned about, could you weather the storm?
Yeah. Okay. So I was concerned because I really thought it was going to be maybe about a month or a couple of weeks. I didn't know what to expect in that closure and to what extent that was going to be. So for me, I was thinking, 30 days, we'll be back open, blah, blah, blah. And then it really kind of dawned on me based on having a friend that worked at the Houston Health Department and getting the information that it was a lot more serious, and we was just starting. We hadn't even hit our peak in numbers and information. So, I was definitely very concerned because then I had never really fully used my website to that capacity. That was always I got a website. I've always been kind of just focused on my traffic in the store. So I had to really turn my information on try to make my website be more what I needed it to be so that I could sell and move inventory through the website, because my clients used to coming in for the whole dressing room experience and talking to me and just catching up and all of that stuff. And so now it's just they were still doing the same on social media, talking to me. I was like, but I need you to hit that button and click and pay,
Yeah.
So it was definitely a process and a big concern.
Yeah.
And Chloe, how about you? Were you? I know you switched to doing masks, but were you concerned about your bread and butter, your business, your custom, all those?
I don't think I had time to be concerned, honestly, because the day I announced I was going to close was also the day I announced March 17th we're going to close. March 18th, I uploaded the video that I'm going to donate free masks. And then it just it blew up. And so I didn't have time to think about anything but making masks, because it was the first time in my career where it felt like this was actually kind of life or death, based on the email that we were getting and the phone call and the text where I have cancer, I have an autoimmune system, I'm a caretaker, someone who's really old and ill. And people are like, you're saving my life by giving me masks. My doctor, my husband's a doctor, he needs the mask. So honestly, I really didn't have time to think about my business at all. I was just mask making. the only time I really thought about my business was 2 weeks in when payroll was going to happen and my whole staff was still getting paid to work and make this mask and organize all this. And then when an email sent and say, hey, I want to help support your cause, but I want to be a guarantee for masks and I'll pay for it. And so I was really resisting of selling masks for a living and just to get money. But I'm like, okay, I'm going to be really stupid if I don't do this because I'm going to eventually run out of money. I can't just keep on donating. You know, at the end of the day, it's a business. You can't be a charity all suddenly. And that's when I started really making more. So I'm actually more worried now than I'm worried the last few months. Oh, I can't hear you.
Okay, why now? What
I think
why?
now is I have to think about the future. Now that I know JCPenney's closing, Neiman Marcus, Saks, there's so many big retailers that hasn't survived. And so I'm realizing how retail is not a necessity for so many people, and knowing how many people have lost their jobs.
Yeah.
You know, so now I know, you know, at the end of the day, what we do is disposable income. But it's not, we just don't sell clothes either. We sell service, we sell relationship, we sell, you know, positivity. We change your mindset, you know, we make you feel better. And sometimes people forget how important clothes is too at the same time. So I think what Jackie and I both are doing, we are seriously working on the social media and working on a website, which I was already revamping in 6 months before this. But now I'm hardcore on my website. Like, we both have to play, because I never depend on my website either. I knew it was important, but we're both such a brick and mortar, real customer service business that the pandemic showed us that, holy crap, we better get on the bandwagon of the website too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely. But now I'm like, I really have to navigate and be an expert on e-commerce. I have to. I really have to like sustain my growth just in case another pandemic happens in the fall, the economy gets worse.
Yeah.
You know, you have to have another way to make money.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting because I've talked to other retail owners and they all have said they really had to work on their online, their e-commerce, and, you know, had to you know, really revamp everything. And this gave them a time, but also pushed them to really do it and really focus on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, like, in terms of fashion, does it change the game for the future? Are we, I mean, what do you think in the next I don't know, couple years? What will you know, is this business model different now?
Well, I think it has changed it, because so I read a lot of business of fashion. I read Retail Dive, I read Inc, I read Forbes, I read anything that's business related and fashion related. And I think it's just going to eliminate, it's not going to completely eliminate fast fashion, but I think people are going to go back and appreciate real quality fashion again. Because hopefully there's going to be a group where I appreciate quality. It was already kind of going there a little bit, but I think now that some people have less disposable income, they're going to kind of value what they buy more versus just buy for the sake of it because it's so much cheaper.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to go that route. And I think, you know, fashion always, at least what I read, like we have to like be responsible for so many things that sometimes like, it's just fashion, people, is not that serious. You know what I mean? Right?
Then they can take the fun out of it.
Yeah, fashion is like, has to stand for this, fashion has to stand for this, fashion. I mean, it is true, but I think this pandemic has realized everything you do now is interconnected. Even though we're just selling clothes, we have to, you know, and it's something naturally that comes with Jackie and I already, because we always have given back to our community. But I think now you really have to connect and really connect with your community much, much more.
Yeah, I agree. And the change for me is, you know, the client used to come to me and I really built a lifestyle brand. So people were always coming to me for their weddings and travel and special occasions and my birthday. And since the celebration moments have changed, those needs have changed too, which is a big thing on fashion. So I had to really look at people being more loungy, more comfortable. I'm at home, but people still want to be cute and feel great. And they're still wanting style. Some people are going back to work and back in the office. So it's sort of a little bit of a mix. I know churches are talking about reopening some of the churches and different things of that nature. So even with my buying, I had to take in more consideration. So I don't need as much dressy nighttime, all of these type of thinking outfits. I need more daytime, that even if I decide to go out for dinner type looks, and things that you can be comfortable in the house, or entertaining family and stuff like that, because you're not moving around the same way. So that's a big change in fashion, because usually you want to walk into the room and you just thinking about when you get to this wedding and going to these places and doing all these things, and you're not doing those conferences and women empowerment moments and needing these looks. So it just changed. That's been a big game changer for me.
I'm in serious trouble because everything she say I do for a living. That is why
at the time. Yeah, that's why you're making masks. Well, I think it's a time where people are getting creative and looking at different ways. I want to take a minute and give a shout out to people who are looking. I'm looking on Facebook. I see Patty Faduli, Tara Stidham, Samira, Ibele, Carissa, Christine Goings, Tina, Angel Upshaw. Who else? I'm going through. I can keep going, but I was just wanted to say hello.
Can I say? I take it. I'm actually still doing. I had a wedding dress fitting last week. I had a prom dress fitting last week.
Nice.
Another gown for Taylor Rose Ball. So it's still happening. I have someone from Illinois that wants to remake an old dress, and she's that she has before. So people are still wanting to dress up. It's not as much, but I think, at the end of the day, we all want to like strut our stuff a little while sooner or later. So hopefully they're gonna want that dress and want a mask that matches. So I think eventually it's gonna go much more ornate in the mask if the masks continue. But I'm still getting custom design jobs, so thank God.
Well, awesome. Yeah.
Okay, so Jackie, you do a lot with local designers, and you bring in local designers into your boutique. Is that going to continue? Do you think you'll see more move away from that if they're not able to weather the storm, or what do you think?
Well, we've already kind of had to do that, because even before the pandemic, a lot of my local that I was doing the co-op with, that I was sharing, they had no longer started doing different things. Anya is doing real estate, just like myself. I just started real estate.
I know,
I'm done with my
congratulations.
classes, but getting into real estate. And then with Carissa, Alipa Style, she's my social media manager. She's transitioned over to doing some different things. So with that being said, I don't really have any local people. I just picked up a young lady, and I am talking with Kimono Zulu to maybe get some kimonos in here and stuff like that. But so I'm gonna still keep it a little bit, but not a focus. My biggest thing is just trying to bring some things in that the clients are asking for, and they want really cute, leisure, comfortable. They want more shoes. I mean, just kind of fun, and they want some new accessories and stuff. So, like Chloe's saying, people are starting and wanting to still look great, have on some fabulous looks and stuff like that. It's just meeting them right there. You don't get that chance to really mess around with it. You got to kind of listen to them a lot more now and make sure you get it right there.
Yeah.
So I have a question for the OGs. Chloe, you in business 20 years. Jackie, 18. What is your secret to longevity?
Oh, ready to change anytime you need to change. Really, just really nimble and really, and for me, it's interesting. So at the design studio, I've been wanting to do my own version of the Juicy Couture set for like a year, because that's how I want to dress. Because I'm so busy, I just want to look cute, but put on the same outfit all the time. So I've been wanting to work on that for a year. So this is kind of perfect. That's gonna, like, if I finally have time to do that outfit that I want, because we're already working on the Margot set, which is that 2-piece that I love, that I showcase that fits everybody. But now,
yes, I want one.
Huh?
Yes, I want one.
Thank you. So something that's chic and easy, but it's also have to be fabric that's, you know, comfortable, breathable. Now that I'm getting older, everything's hot. So like I want kind of. So I don't want to say what I'm going through, but I guess I'm going through it. So yeah, so it's already something I know that, because you know, it's really a transition of athleisure wear. That is such a big business already. Now it's just cute leisure wear. I don't know what the word we're gonna call it, but I'm not the girl to be wearing tights and walking around. Yeah. So, you know, I think that was already happening, and that's how you gotta change, and you gotta like figure this out almost 6 months ahead before it happens. It was already a conversation I've been having for a long time. The website was a conversation we're already having a long time. But all this just forced you to like, if you think this is gonna work, you better make it happen faster before somebody else gets in there.
Jackie, what is your secret to longevity?
Mine has been consistency, my community partnerships, and customer service. You know, I think those three together has been my, because, you know, we get new stuff in, but just the consistency with the quality of it, the fashion, and being able to product knowledge, be able to let clients know what, where, and when they could do a look, and education with the product as well, because a lot of people don't know, and so they come with all these questions, and so a lot of times you either got to guide them. Sometimes they're like, well, I don't have nowhere to go, or what's going on, and I'm like, girl, you need that too, but they need the whole gamut. Like, I want to shop, but I don't do anything but work and this and that. So you have to talk to them about what's going on, tell them about new places and things that's happening. Website, sometimes I just have to be like a one-stop shop, because they want the place and they're like, okay, well, cool, I'm on my way there now. And I'm like, really?
Yeah, I know people need information. You're not just dressing their outfit, you're dressing their life.
Yes.
You really are. Yeah. And since we've been around for so long, it's key what Jackie said. It's customer service. And I mean, some of my client has my cell phone. Sometimes I love it, and sometimes I regret it. It's like,
Yeah.
But you know, I think that's why we stay around so long. It's really boils down to customer service. It really is. We are trusted and honest fashion experts that they get to have like one-on-one with, that normally you don't get, you know, and we know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when you started out, did you feel that level of confidence, or did you feel like you had to prove yourself in the beginning?
Well, definitely with me, I had to prove myself, because I was, you know, being a buyer and coming into this area of town, which this regentrification in Third Ward hadn't really quite happened the way it is now. So now you come in, it's hipping and popping, and everything's going on. It's beautiful and tall buildings and new grass and all of that. So when I first came, it was just a process of getting people sometime, whether it was comfortable with the idea of coming over here and doing fashion, and how long was I going to be here? Because a lot of people was very skeptical. Like, and I was like, well, I'm here to stay, you know? And then, you know, people, as I think my longevity, and I stayed here, and people coming around, I was like, oh, okay, well, you do know what you're doing. Because I think people wanted to see if this was going to even, you know, survive just being in this area. And I was like, no, I'm going to survive. I love fashion, and this area has always been one of my favorite parts of time. I've always loved the McGregor, Almeida's, you know, Dao and Emancipation. I've always loved the history of what this community had too, right around the corner from the museums. So for me, I was I got in at a very good rate for the real estate over here, because the real estate over here now is through the roof. So it was just perfect timing. So definitely, yeah.
I don't know if I had.
Go ahead, Chloe.
I don't know if I had confidence. I think I was just naive. You know, I was like, hey, I'm just gonna open a clothing store. Well, I planned it for 8 years. I mean, I planned to be a business owner. I was very strategic, but you know, you can't go in and like, I'm going to make a lot of money, I'm going to open my store. You just, because it's something you want to do, because you love what you want to do. And then I was lucky enough, and I trained enough, and I was disciplined enough to learn a lot of things, and lived with my mom and my dad, drove their old car. You know, I was financially smart about it. And I think that's how I sustained it. And then I think winning Project Runway was the one that gave me confidence. But, you know, I think that's the thing. But I think confidence is not the word. I think Yeah. Well, I learned a lot before I opened my own business. I did a lot of work, a lot of research and everything so that I can make sure I didn't have to pay anybody to do any of this stuff because I knew I didn't have the money to do it. So that's why I did a lot of DIY.
And when you touch on that point, because one of the things that I admire about both of you is that a lot of people get in and you know, they want to be a fashion designer or they want to open a store and they haven't done their homework and they haven't done the experience leading up to that point, because you know, you didn't just one day, oh, I'm going to open a store. You know?
No, definitely not that. Well, you know, it's really funny, and I share this story a lot with people about Chloe Dao when I used to work for my old boss, and we were doing wholesale, and I would be at Magic, and we had a booth, and we would just be selling, and I had accounts all over the U.S., 350 accounts that were selling this man's brand. And I remember Zoe, Chloe would come by the booth and she would tell me, why are you working for this? You need to be doing this for yourself. You need to be doing this for yourself. She told me this.
That's Chloe. That's Chloe.
She would tell me this all the time. She would tap me on my little leg. You know, it wasn't my leg, but she would give me that little tap. You know,
I don't remember that.
And she told me, so one time to me, and I kept listening. I was like, you know what? She was like, you do that for yourself. You can do this for yourself. And I remember when I signed my lease and I went by her store and I told her I was opening up Melodrama Boutique. I mean, she was so excited for me. She was like, I'm about time. But she nagged at me in the back of my head. I was like, I could do this for myself. But at the time I was, you know, doing wholesale. I was a buyer for 12 stores. I was living at the top of my chain. And she was like, no, you can go further. So that push and just having somebody in the back of your head knowing that she saw potential in what I was doing, but I could be doing more. And I could do it for myself. And I was like, really? So thank you, Chloe, for all of that. And the years of even checking on me and keeping up. So the one thing I will say about in this business that I've enjoyed is the engagement and that we've been able to have over the years in the industry, because it's very important too to know who you can call and talk to or text. And I know I text. When this first pandemic happened, I sent Chloe a message like, girl, what's going on? I mean, both of us. And I ain't have many words to say, but she sent me back an emoji and I got it.
Yeah.
It was
clear. We're both like, oh, what the hell? What do we do now?
Yeah. I didn't need much. I just needed to touch and just make sure she was out there and okay, because you see everybody working and that's what we're doing on social media, but you know, there's some behind the scenes that sometimes we don't get to share and pour out, because I know some of that'll be too much for people anyhow. But just to know that, you know, the most important thing is that we're still here and we're still thinking about ideas and how to move forward with our businesses. And that's huge, because I know daily, like she said, big retailers are shutting down. Even I saw somebody post something about Luby's closing restaurant chain.
Yeah.
So I got a little nervous because that's my little spot up here on my finger.
Yeah, because you're like, if this big people can't survive, how the hell are we going to survive?
Here's the thing. What I think is interesting is that, the big boys are going through bankruptcy and closing. But doesn't that leave a big opportunity for a small business like you have?
Yeah, I think it does, but it goes back to like, you better like literally start connecting more and more to community. And since this whole thing, that's why the website's so important, because now for myself, because of the mask, I've gained a lot of like male customers, which I've never had before. So we're trying to pivot to wholesale. We're trying to like, now, you know, I mean, Joy, you know this, but I'm like, I never want to be Chloe Dao, the brand. You know, I just want to be me. But thank God I'm pretty silly and I like people. So I'm like, yay. Okay. So I'm going to have to showcase that more and just connect more to people. And because at the end of the day, Jackie and I, we sell clothes, but we really sell our compassion and our love for people and passion.
Yeah.
You know, and now we have to show that on the website and through social media so that we can connect to more people.
Yes. How to make that experience for me at the beginning was hard virtually, because I've been such a hands-on touch, and I was like, but I can't see and I can't touch and I can't feel not only my merchandise but the customer too. I mean, for a minute that it played in my head and I was like, I don't know. And finally I had to just say, I have to do this. You cannot
Yeah.
not know. And we
Yeah.
have
That's
to
a
make
funny
it
story.
work.
So yeah. So this Saturday, I was in the store helping customer, and I was literally like pulling her bra strap up because I'm like, oh girl, no, you need more support, and it's your bra. And I'm like, I'm touching this woman all over, and I'm like, is this good for my health? But I don't mind. I like it. And this like going all up on
Touching people's bra strap.
Oh yeah, I was like, it's too low, girl. It's fine.
You sound like I had to dress
I
in
have
those
that
clothes.
experience online.
Yeah.
You can only have it before. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question. You know,
So that's not
to last as long as you've lasted, I'm sure you've had peaks and valleys, highs and lows. What has been the biggest heartbreak in your in your business in doing this?
Oh wow. The biggest heartbreak.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest heartbreak for me is when I kept having the back-to-back break-ins. That was very hard for me. When every time, so for me, they were also taking the hangers and then the violation of just like having to get the window fixed and then explain to everybody what happened and da-da-da-da-da. And then it was just a constant. That was kind of like the biggest heartbreak because, you know, then the police tell you, well, you know, it's somebody that you know. And I'm like, listen, I don't know nobody who break in stores and steal stuff. You know, they telling you, but they've been in here before. And I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So then you got to look around and, you know, I'm like, okay, that was too much in my head. But that was like my heartbreak. That was the hardest thing because then I had to, you know, work on getting those new stuff in, or I had an event on the calendar. Like that was for me, that was my hardest that I've had to deal with here was that.
Chloe, how about you? Biggest heartbreak?
My biggest heartbreak, huh? I guess my biggest heartbreak is realizing when the recession hit and I could really lose my business because I was so naive about not checking my finance because I was just working. Because that time was like maybe 4 years after Project Runway. I did QVC, I did Dell. I mean, I was bringing in a lot of cash, but I was spending so much with so much staff, bigger store, and so I did not know how much I was making and how I was making a lot, but I was spending more than I made.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest heartbreak was like one day my sister's like, you're in trouble, girl, you know. So, and then when I actually went to Rice University and did that master program, and I chopped my store in half and I changed to my name. So it was a happy, I was happy, but I was heartbroken at the same time. Does that make sense? I was sad that I had to learn that lesson, but I was really happy that I learned that lesson because now I know, girl, I check my bank account every morning. So, every morning I check that bank account.
I've always checked that thing. Now that they got it where you can do it from your phone and all it needs is my thumb, it's on.
Yeah. The heartbreak was
Chloe,
a little bit.
Okay, do you want to talk about it all? But you're fighting for your name and your, you know, Chloe.
Oh yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Sure.
Okay, this is a good story. This is a really good story. Okay,
so when I had to turn to Chloe Dao, I was Lade because a lot of girls in my family. But when I tried to trade my name Chloe Dao, the House of Chloe said I couldn't. And the House of Chloe is owned by Richmond, and they own like Alexander McQueen. They own really big people. Like they have endless money. So I'm like, no, I'm gonna fight it because I'm Chloe Dao, you know. So I spent so much money. And then a lawyer friend of mine, my lawyer finally said, Chloe, you're going to just keep on losing. So this is why I am Dao Chloe Dao. I cannot be officially Chloe Dao, but somehow they were silly or kind. They were allowed me to have ChloeDao.com, but on any of my paperwork, I have to be Dao Chloe Dao. But it's all good. I'm ChloeDao.com, which is the most important thing.
You got the website.
Except my website.
That's something you walked away with something and you got what you need. So that's important. Yeah.
So Instagram, I'm Dao Chloe Dao. My bank is Dao Chloe Dao, but it's all good. It's not even my real name, so whatever. People don't know
it,
that.
Chloe.
But yeah, so I guess it was a heartbreak because I spent a lot of money and it didn't win. So
Okay, so okay, we talked about the heartbreak, but what has been the biggest thrill?
The biggest thrill.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's huge. Okay, Chloe, I'm gonna let you go first. I need to put this in my
I
thought.
think
It's
you know,
an easier one.
I think it's an easy one because we
Okay.
love what we do. The big thrill is like when we have a client and you can see like we get that TLC moment where it's the say yes to the dress. And like all suddenly in their head, they lose 10 pounds, they're skinnier and they're prettier. And like, because a piece of really good clothing can do that for you. Like you can see the transformation and like you actually created that moment for them, So I think and I'm lucky I get to experience that little thrill. And actually I like to share this story. So I have a custom design client I'm working with right now, and she's a little bit heavier set. And when she first came into the store, she was really nervous because it was a custom design appointment. And once she sat down with me, right away, she started crying. And she's like, I don't feel like I belong here. I'm like, oh my God. So I was like, and so now, but by talking with me, and I'm like, no, you do. Everybody belongs in fashion. Everybody deserves to feel beautiful in themselves. Well, after a few consultations, she went shopping. I won't name the store, and they treated her so badly. But she said, because you gave me confidence and believe in myself, I stood up for myself for the first time ever. And because you believe in me, I actually stood up for myself. I'm like, oh. So you don't realize how you can affect someone like in a deep, deep way by just being kind. And like, all I do is make dresses, people. But, you realize that how you treat people and how you help them feel about themselves is so, so important. So like Jackie said, it's not just selling clothes. Like we give them, we're Uber. No, we're not Uber. We're like Yelp, we're whatever. We're like the psychiatrist. Like
it's real retail therapy. The real retail
Oh, that's so true. That is the word.
The real retail therapy.
I need a tip jar. We need a tip jar at the end.
Tip jar.
My clients do cash at me from time to time, so I'm always
that's nice.
Yeah. I get cash out.
Chloe?
Yes.
I'll give everybody my Venmo a little bit later.
I need a screen to put them down at the bottom. The fashion industry is a kind of crazy business, and that is not that embracing of women of color, women of larger sizes. I mean, we've had these conversations, and I've written these stories time and time again over the almost 20 years that I've been doing this. Do you think it's better now? Do you think fashion is more inclusive now?
I do. I think especially with the plus size, since that's the average size woman being about that size 12, 14, I think in the industry, they have made better clothes, better stylish clothes for the woman with curves and with body. And so that really helps. So even with me carrying it in the store now, because for the longest, I didn't do that. Because I really didn't understand that consumer. Because to me, I always felt like a lot of my clients who were a lot heavier were always on a diet, doing this different things. And they would tell me, oh, I'm not going to buy anything right now. I'm just looking because I'm losing weight. So it was always kind of in my head. I just stayed in my head with it. And then finally, I had somebody in here that was my brand ambassador for the plus size. And I got a better understanding of that person because I started listening to that client. And I was like, she really want to look great now. And if she lose some weight, wonderful. Then if she doesn't, at least she looks fabulous in her skin today. And she's loving. Some women love where I'm at. And so that was a journey for me too. And some women come here, I'm not trying to lose no weight. I'm on my way to get something to eat, but I need a dress. I was like, okay. I can appreciate the honesty. So I had to just change that. And now that I have embraced, the woman and all women, it's been a beautiful experience in the store because women do come in, and then some of them have done the challenge, whether they've, lost 30, 40 pounds. but they still come in and they still shop because now they like, Jackie, I can get in the regular stuff. And so I'm like, okay, well, come on, let's get this together. So it's a journey. And I think in the industry now, when it comes to hips, booties, and thighs, sometimes I don't think they've really changed that European sizing sometimes. But with me, what I do is I just do mostly dresses and tops and some skirts. I stay away from a lot of pants and stuff. So I just buy around it. I'm not going to fight with the industry, but I always tell people, if you find some basics and you get some pants that fit, get every color, and you can come to me for some great tops and things like that. Because I know that can be an issue.
Yeah. And Chloe, you go ahead.
I think it changed immensely. So, I mean, I've been going to trade shows for 20 years. Now there's actually plus size in some brand that never existed before. I mean, there's Universal also. There's so many other brands also that is available. And there's tons of websites and they're cutting up to like 36, you know. So I think fashion, and I think it's not just because it's needed. It's also because of the influencer. And there's a voice that there is a market for it, you know. And so we're listening because they've been screaming loud and proud that, hey, we love fashion as much as everyone, and you need to give it to us. And now we're definitely carrying up to size 24 in certain pieces.
Yeah, I haven't got that far, but yeah.
Well, you know, I want to let our 24 doesn't sell. So I'm like, people, I have it here for y'all. Y'all better come. So yeah, so we're trying to figure out how to let them know that we do have it, not in everything, because like everything else, it's a testing ground.
Yes.
And that's why I don't do pants either. As a designer and pattern maker, that is a really hard fit, even on any body type. So definitely staying away from that. Let's get some Spanx and call it a day for that, you know?
Right. Yeah. Okay,
right, so I'm looking at some of the questions, and we have one from Samira. She is a graduate at the from HEC in the fashion design program, and she wants to know, she's looking for some direction after, you know, after graduation. She has a home studio, and I teach kids how to sew and do some great custom work. But this industry now, what do you think?
Well, what direction does she want to go into?
I think it's fashion design. It looks like fashion design.
So she wants to have her own like fashion line and stuff?
That it doesn't say. No, yeah.
I see you say design.
She said
Samira, you have to be more, I guess, designing, I guess, like myself. I say if you want to do it, small capsule, four-piece collection. And I'm telling you, leisure wear, making something easy to fit, one top that fits maybe 3 different sizes. So nothing super fitted, easy breezy, so that when, especially because you're going to be online, because you don't have money for brick and mortar, when they ship it, it's easy for them to throw it on and it still fit them.
Choose the right colors, the right pattern.
Exactly. So like keep it very small so that your cost is under, and make it leisure wear. I'm sorry, no evening wear right now. Like you got to like give what people want. And both Jackie and I are like leisure wear. That's it. Do leisure wear. And tops are the easiest to do. And it sells. It's easy to sell and it fits most people. And you got to design smart.
Okay, one question is, you know, both of you all have experience working with other companies, and now with so many big companies closing, the opportunity for a lot of these students is gone or is dwindling. So what do they do?
That's a good question. Well, I mean, the good thing about it is, you know I've put it out there a couple of times, needing staff and interns and stuff like that. And just people, you know, wanting to come to work and take it serious, because the one thing about brick and mortar is it's work. I mean, you come in and it looks beautiful and the store is steamed and clean and all of that stuff, but that's because we do it. And if I don't have staff to do it, then I'm in here doing it. But at the same time, just getting people to realize that it's past all of the beautiful things and just posting and being online, that we got to, you know, dust, we got to clean restrooms, we got to wax the floors, all these things you see that look great. Well, it's because we maintain that that look from the front of the door, from cleaning windows all the way to the bathroom in the back of the store. So, but yeah, you're just going to have to communicate and get with some of the small businesses and move around and be ready to do some different type of work. That's all.
I think I would like tell them to go back into the world of like study e-commerce, because that's the lowest overhead. I mean, Jackie and I are already on it. So, and come up with a one niche product that you can sell and focus, and you got to share your story. Like the more people care about you, the more they're going to buy your product. Because we're not, none of us going to make anything groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. They're just going to want to buy from you because they care about you.
And I used to wonder when people say there's nothing new up under the sky. Remember people say that? And I used to, and it is true. It's, if you're thinking about it, somebody's already doing it, and you got to be okay with it.
But also, if you think about it and it's ugly, don't do it. I actually had a friend come to me, and like there was this guy that wanted a tie with a square end, and he thought it was the most amazing thing ever. And I'm like, how do I tell him don't? But, you know, like be realistic too. Like be realistic.
Yes.
Make sure people
realistic.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I appreciate both of you, you are both straight shooters. You tell it like it is. Okay, so fun question. What's a trend that you hate more than anything?
Skin tone tights. Ugh, you look naked. Sorry, people. And like sometimes you see the cellulite through it because it's thin material. And you look naked. No, not in public. Yeah.
And mine was the see-through leggings where I could see people's panties through the leggings. And I don't know what part of that became part of a trend, but it trended really hard at one point. Like it was just it was beyond. I don't know, because I saw it so much that I even saw it in church. So I said, this has gotta be, you know, it was just it's a bit much. But again, I will say that was one thing on trend. See-through leggings has been a problem for me. Either the shirt needs to be longer or don't wear them.
All right. What is your fashion pet peeve?
Fashion pet peeve. I don't know. Let me see.
Mine's when I see women with clothes on too small and they constantly pulling on it, or they have, you could tell that they have on some type of undergarment that's they can't breathe and they look uncomfortable in their clothes. That's a fashion pet peeve of mine, because it's like you shouldn't have, I mean, you everything about the situation is wrong and you look uncomfortable. And then when your feet are hanging out of your shoes. So I just have a problem with too small stuff, too small shoes, too small clothes. Those things can get to me. That's a problem for me.
Yeah. I guess because I'm a short girl, it's when I see girls with high heels and it's too high and they can't walk. So they're walking with bented legs, like, and it's like, oh my God, everything was so pretty until you started walking. Like, you kill the whole illusion. So yeah, like bend up, like straighten that knee, people, straighten that knee. And you can't walk in that shoe, don't wear it.
Yeah.
All right, so these are questions that I also ask when I do my style profiles for the Houston Chronicle. So what is the one thing in your closet that you need to get rid of, but you can't let it go?
Oh, good question.
In my closet?
I'll tell you mine, and while you're thinking on it, can I tell you mine?
Yes,
So
please.
I have a pair of leather, high-dye, bell-bottom pants.
Oh my God, it's so in right now. It's so in right now.
I bought on sale at Loman probably over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I've worn them only one time. And I will never wear them again, but I just cannot get rid of them.
You can't fit them?
No, I can't fit them either. I can't let them.
Because they sound amazing. They sound great.
They're so on trend. I wouldn't give away. Bell bottoms in and tie dyes in.
Yeah.
All right, so how about you?
In my closet, I have a pair of shoes that I bought online, and they're strappy. So I like this designer in particular, and her name is Amina Abdul Jalil. And she does these really fun leather bottom and leather upper shoes with the big bow. Well, I have a pair with this crystal thing at the top, at the toe of them, and they wrap around the ankle, but the adhesive for the leather to stick together on the strap that wraps around the leg came out. So I pulled it out and I cut it out. And so now when I wear it, and they're great, and every time I post a picture of me and people ask me about the shoe, they stick to the skin, but I still wear them. So I haven't given them up. I thought there was TMI somewhere, but anyway, they're a pair of my summer faves. I love them. So I'm gonna have to go and bite the bullet this year and go online and buy a new pair of black sandals from her.
So I have this Valentino boots that I have, and they're so old, but I can barely zip it up because my calf's gotten bigger. So I would struggle for 30 minutes to zip it up. So I thought, okay, I'll give it up. So I gave it to my assistant, but then I asked for it back. So I'm like, oh no, I still love it. So
I love it.
Anymore, but I think I still have it somewhere. I don't even know where it is, but I know I still love it. Yeah.
That's a good one.
What and looking, a lot of fashion is a repeat of what happened, 10 years ago or 20 years ago. We kind of repeat the cycle. What's your favorite period of time for fashion? 80s, 90s, 20s, 50s, 60s?
For your own personal style history or just for fashion history?
Yeah, because I love it.
You love vintage?
I love vintage, so it can go, I love the old and with the new, but I like to make a modern look with vintage as well. So, yeah, I mean, because fashion, like you said, it's always, it hit on trend where it can look 40s, 50s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and then it go back sometimes. So, I mean, because the Chanel period for me is like one of those times, kind of timeless. When it came to fashion. So yeah, that's great though. But so for me, vintage, I love, and I still, if I can wear a kimono every day, I will have on some different lean type of kimono. I love the drama of that. It's just a beautiful piece. And whether you have on t-shirt and jeans or over, you can turn it into some type of a gown with the right belt or OB ties. Like just certain parts of fashion and cultures is what I love. And I love great African prints. And I can go on and on when it comes to fashion and my inspiration and time periods. Yeah. As long as I can dance around in it into the, the universe, it works for me. I need to be able to have fun and be able to work it. And yeah. Yeah. I love all time periods possibly. What about you, Chloe?
I like anything after the 80s because I think the 90s and the 80s? Yeah, like 80s, 70s, 60s.
Oh, like 50s, before the 80s? Or what do you mean?
Before the 80s is
before
because
the 80s.
We have fashion statement there. The 80s was a statement, the 70s was a statement, the 60s, the 50s. I don't know what the 90s was. I don't know what 2010
it was color, it was bold color. It was like TLC and all, all that,
You know what I mean? Like I think from the 90s on, it's very vague fashion wise. Like
it was just a repeat. I think the 90s and 2000s was a repeat of everything else.
Yeah. So I like any fashion that was a fashion statement. Like, I can name you neon sweater and you're like 80s, bell bottom 70s, like you're 50s, like the 90s. I can't name a thing. Like 2000, the 10s, and I can't remember anything. So I like anything that makes a statement, and like you can feel that era. Like okay, you put a look together. But now I think the casual wear. So I appreciate anybody putting a look together because now I think you have to understand history. You gotta work a little bit harder because now there's so many diverse selection. People are a little lost. I think that's why it's important. You go to expert like us.
Yes.
Trying to sell us, girl.
Yes.
Okay. How many pairs of shoes do you own?
Oh, I don't know the date. Wow.
Now, Chloe, I was always surprised that Chloe didn't have very many. Like her closet was very minimal, and her shoes. She didn't. For a fashion designer, she didn't have a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Keep it for a long time.
I have 3 closets in my house that have clothes and shoes in them.
Okay.
And so when I moved, I didn't really do a count, but I would say somewhere 100 and 150 plus pair of shoes in there.
Wow.
Yeah, because I have a lot of tennis shoes too. I'm including those, and I do a lot of flats as well as heels and boots. And some seasons I went a little crazy. I actually found a box because I went a whole year without wearing a couple of boots and shoes, even though I know they was in the back of my head and I knew they were in that house. I had to go to the box and open it and say, okay, I didn't need them, but they would be worn for 2021. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. Because I try to buy shoes for myself that are timeless and I can wear, even if they're on trends or whatever. It's not where it's too trendy, where it loses its appetite for after a year or two. I should be able to pull them out based on that. And I do, shoes are something for me that I've always enjoyed because it changes an outfit sometime. It can change a look. So I've always had a little shoe fetish. I get excited about shoes. I sit here sometimes and order shoes.
I can tell.
And it's unfortunate, but I mean, like, I look for and find different small designers that I've bought some Ruthie Davis, like I just said, Amina Abdul Jalil. Like I find these, and then I see their shoes, and they're so inspirational. Because sometimes with clothes, it gets a little repetitive, and I find a shoe, even on Free People, and I'm like, that's what I'm talking about, fashion. And sometimes you can find it in the shoe and in the clothes, and I'm just I can get uninspired. But when I buy a shoe for myself, I get inspired for clothes for my clients. How about that? That's true. That's real talk like that. I'm going to get me a pair of shoes. I'm eyeballing some. So I'm trying to talk myself through this purchase.
Even you have to convince yourself.
Self-care. I deserve these shoes.
For sure. For sure, man.
I want to give a shout out to a couple of people who are on Facebook. Michael Quintanilla, he was a fashion editor at the San Antonio paper, a colleague of mine.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, Michael. My cousin Carmen in Atlanta, Mary Flood. Yes. There's a Carmen there. Damari Rubio, I've written about her, fashion designer here. So is it? Hold on.
You muted yourself.
Have this conversation. Okay, we are down to the last few minutes. Man, this has gone by fast, y'all.
It does.
Yeah, 4 minutes left. What is the one thing that would surprise people about you to know? And it doesn't have to be fashion related. It could be just, it doesn't have to be fashion related.
People will be surprised that I'm a little bit of an introvert. I know people don't see that. And that sounds real, but I am. I like alone time. I'm real big on just a long time sitting alone. I can go sit at a restaurant or a bar by myself and be comfortable. Don't need another person at the table with me. You'd be surprised, but I enjoy stuff like that. So I can be a little bit of an introvert and like that little me time. I know it sounds weird, but that is very true about me.
Chloe?
But that's something people find.
Me? Sometimes I think I'm hilarious.
See, you are, girl.
You are funny. Chloe, you're funny. She is funny.
You are funny.
So
she is funny.
I laugh at myself. I'm like, that's funny.
Okay. Hold on. Somebody asked a good book to help entrepreneurs.
Oh, okay. I don't know to help entrepreneurs, but helped me when I was starting out was The Road Less Traveled. It's
that's a great book. I've read it several times. Great book.
Yeah, it's just helped you to be a better person. But like what's that thing where like you do the first thing that you don't want to do? Delayed gratification. Yeah, delayed gratification. Like do the things that you don't want to do so that you can enjoy the rest of the stuff you want to do. So you keep delaying it, it's just gonna like prolong your pain. So I try to live by that rule a lot. But that book really kind of like shaped me who I was. And I read it, I think, in high school.
And I'm gonna say the Holy Bible. So I would say get acquainted with the Bible. So you can, if you need to get some verses on a couple of days, that is a good book. That's gonna be my book. Choice to tell you.
Okay. All right. Last question, ladies. What brings you joy?
I knew it.
You want to go check?
What brings me joy?
I mean, it's a joy hour. I have to ask that question.
Yes. Well, family and friendship brings me joy. I enjoy being around my family. That love and that support, that unconditional love and that support, and knowing you know, that family it's just forever. It's a life thing. So that brings me joy all the time, especially during this time right now. I've had to really hone into what my family and my friends and who really with you right now, who really, you know, can really understand what you're going with and can cry and love on you through this whole thing and just be supportive. So family brings me joy and friends.
Yeah.
Chloe?
All that for me too, but I think what's happening now, like watching that the world is coming together, you know, for a great cause, I think that brings me joy. Like, but you know, joy brings me joy too, though.
Joy brings me joy. Yes.
Well, thank you, ladies. This is the first the Joy Hour, Conversations with Houston Stars. And I thank you so much for agreeing to do it. Just was an idea and I was like, you know, let's do it. So I'm doing it weekly for a while and we'll see how it goes. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
Again, if you want to follow Jackie, it's Melodrama 17 Years. Is that right?
On Instagram.
On 7
Melodrama
years.
17. Yeah, 17. Yeah.
And your website is?
Melodramaboutique.com.
Okay. And Chloe, your information?
ChloeDao.com and on Instagram, Dao, Chloe Dao.
All right, ladies, thank you. Have a good evening. And I'll see you soon.
Bye.
All right. Thank you.
Bye. How do I stop this?
Okay.